Hi everyone, it's Patrick here. Today, I'm going to share with you some true horror stories again. Hope you guys love them and give them a thumbs up too. And if you really love to hear more of these stories, please subscribe to us and click on the notification bell beside it too. Well, let's begin. A vacation. It is supposed to be fun and a good time, right? Well, there was this trip that I had was quite the opposite. Though it was nothing creepy, but it's still weird to this day. Let me share with you guys. Well, there was this time I went to Japan alone. Well, actually, it was a business trip that would last 3 days. But my boss was so good that he let me off for a week, so I could spend 4 more days in Japan. Long story short, after the business stuff with a customer from Japan, I moved out from my first hotel to some smaller homestay because I wanted to try staying with some locals instead of some hotel which is too normal for me. So, I found a small homestay with an elderly couple already staying for 2 days and will be leaving the place the night I moved in. Well, the place was cozy and nice. It has a fair price too, and most importantly, it was really close to nature. It is close to a forest and it was really awesome. I had a great day with the couple that day. They were cooking some of the locals' food and they shared it with me. Well, the wife's cooking skills were just superb, I'd say. Tonight, they packed up and was leaving. They left me a present that was packed in a box. Well, seeing 2 elderly couple saying our goodbyes, it kinda leaves a few tears in my eyes. I hugged them and I said our goodbyes and I watched them off. Well, after they left the house, I was all alone. Though it felt lonely, but knowing that my holiday starts tomorrow, it cheered me up a little. I started to unpack my stuff in my room, and I was curious. I was curious about the present that they left me. So, I sat on the bed and opened the box. And there it was, a pair of rings and a letter that reads, "You are a nice man, and we wish you and your wife a happy life ahead." Well, kind of think of it, it was around 5 years back. And now, I'm 31 years old, married 2 years ago, and with a child. I still find this a little bit creepy, but not that creepy kind of way. You know, it's just weird. There was this one time when I traveled to Hong Kong myself for an escape trip. Well, I was alone and had no company. I prefer to travel alone so I don't have to cope with the other person's demands. I like to be left alone and hang out with strangers. Well, the story goes like this. The first night in the hotel, well, the hotel was extremely small. Well, you know, a very small room. When you open the door, the toilet is on your left and the bed is just a foot on your right. Yeah, those rooms where you just have a bed and you turn around is your toilet, it was that small. So anyway, I threw my bags and kept them in the room the whole day, and I walked out of the place so I could enjoy the trip. After a long day of walking and having fun with some newfound friends from Singapore and some locals there, I traveled back to the hotel. Well, when I mentioned fun, it was really fun. We drank some whiskeys, we had some beer, just chilling, chatting about our lives back in our own country and why we have this escape to Hong Kong. All the great stuff basically. Well, after all the fun we had, it was around 3 a.m. in the morning. As I walked into the hallway, reaching my hotel room, I could just hear the shower was on. So, the first thing I thought was, oh shit! Did I forget to turn it off or something? I was shocked, thinking how stupid and forgetful I am. I quickly pulled out my keys and opened the door, and what I saw, the toilet was all dry. Nothing, not a single drop of water. So I thought it was just the beer acting up, and maybe it was the room next door. Simple as that. I was just too exhausted, and I simply took a shower and I went to bed. The next morning, when I met up with my newfound friends, one of the locals asked,
"Hey John, by the way, which hotel did you stay?"
I said the name of the hotel. Well, I'm not gonna say the name here, of course. Don't want to ruin the hotel. Well, the guy, he asked in,
"Don't tell me it's on the 4th floor, the last room, to the left?"
Yes, I said.
Oh, okay. Never knew the room would still be open for booking.
I asked, why? Why would you say that? He answered,
Well, a few months back, there was a murder case. It was a guy who had a deal with a local drug dealer. But somehow, the deal was off. So the dealer came, took a kitchen knife, stabbed the victim 4 times on the chest, and left the victim. But eventually, the victim crawled into the bathroom, turned on the shower to get help. But it was too late. And guess what? He died. And it was around 3 a.m. in the morning as well.
There was this time when I had a training trip. Well, I'm a nurse that was just offered a special training to a hospital in Korea. Wow, the feeling, you know, getting this extremely good opportunity was the greatest thing that I've ever felt. Well, it was a 5 days training trip in a hospital. Well, the nurse there was really nice, they're talented, and not to mention pretty as well. For the first 3 days of working in the hospital was normal. Well, hospital, right? Patients coughing, sneezing, some are just screaming and yelling, especially in the emergency rooms. You did see someone pass away. Well, those were the saddest part of being a nurse. And seeing that happen in front of you is just really sad. On the 4th day, it happened. There came a call from the intensive care unit saying that a man was hit by a car but was still alive and laughing hysterically in the ICU. When I got there to help out, the situation was a mess. The guy was demented. He was laughing and blabbering some crazy shit about someone chasing him, but he got away with it. He was covered in his own blood and had his bone fractured. It was really a big freaking mess. Never have I seen such a situation before in my life. But as a professional, I stay calm and I help out the team. In the end, after 15 minutes of intensive method procedure, well, the man, he died. But he died with a crazy smile on his face. And I'd still remember his last words.
Yes, I'm finally free.
It was around 4 a.m. in the morning when he passed, which is the last day staying there for me. After the death of the guy, it was morning of 12th January 2012. That night, we had a farewell party for me before my flight back home. We had the party in the nurses' lounge. We had cakes, we had cokes, basically everything fun, but nothing alcohol related, Though it was tiring, but it was really enjoyable for each and every one of us. Well, at the airport, when I was saying my goodbye to one of the nurses, the one closest to me while working there, and also the one that picks me up from the airport. Well, you know those scenes that you stood far away from the door and you waved goodbye. Yeah, that moment I caught a glimpse of a man in a hospital gown standing right behind her, and for a split second I could hear the man, the same demented man that died, whispering in my head,
You will be free.
Till now, I never understood why he kept saying that. But all I know now I kept seeing him in my peripheral visions, and he would say the same thing over and over again. Sometimes I think it sounds really funny.